That sounds a little better. Cool.
Oh, looks like we live out there. What's going on, my people?
What's up,
Definitely
beautiful people? Another
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yep, another live at 5 here on the East Coast. It's 4 o'clock Central
Yes,
Standard
sir.
Time, but we're definitely glad to have y'all one more week with us. Y'all been hanging tough with us for a few months now, and we're gonna keep it going. So thank y'all for joining live, and thank y'all for joining us on the replay as well. We're
Yes,
gonna have
sir.
another wonderful discussion today. And our focal point, our talk for today is basically what mentees need. And we're going to dive into just a few points, maybe a few more than just a few, but just a few points of really what we kind of discover where we can provide more value than the standard educational system. Of course, we all know that school has its place. You know, if you're into the STEMs, the science, the technology, engineering, and the math. That's all cool and everything. But
Mhm.
when you're on the track to be an entrepreneur and when you're really looking to tap into your God-given gifts, like how we help our mentees do here at What's the Formula Mentoring Academy, the mentees need a little bit more in-depth, attention with certain things. So one thing that we understand that is kind of tough for young people to do is to really trust. And so what we really do to really build trust, and it's kind of over like the long term, we know trust is built over time. So we
Yes.
always make sure that we are consistent in everything that we do. You know, we always when we have a plan in place, like we have weekly calls, we have discussions, we offer support outside of those weekly calls also, and we're also here to support the students and the mentees in their own personal life as well. So we want to always make sure that we know that our mentees know that we're there for them, not only to help them excel in the academics of the curriculum of what we've constructed for our 12-week course. That's very important because we want to walk them through the process of the be, do, have. But also, it's also important to support the students, to support the mentees in their own personal life, whether it be if they have any issues with girls in school, or if they have any issues with their
Right.
teachers, or maybe they just have some personal mental issues that they may not feel totally comfortable expressing to people who are really close to them, such as their parents. So we're always there, and we always aim to be consistent in everything that we do. So if we say that we're going to do something, we always make sure that we follow through because we want to make sure that we build that trust with the mentee so that way we can continue to build that long-standing relationship with them for years and years to come.
Oh man. Hey, this is what I tell everyone because when people push back on coaching and mentorship, the biggest pushback is that the information is out there. And guess what? It is. The
Mhm.
information is only one part of it, you all. We do have some very and I'll say unique information because we've taken information from different sources, our history, our experiences, and built a curriculum that's dope on all levels for everyone that ever did it. But we're building a community. Like this is a movement. Even the ones that have graduated already out of this program, we stay in contact with. We still show up for their events. We're still involved with what they're doing. So we're not just pushing them through to get a number and 12 weeks, go ahead about your business. No, no. We want them to teach the next group. We want them to stay involved, but also remain independent with their business and with their goals. We want them to strive for greatness. We want them to strive for greater than us. So we're not the bar, they set the bar. We just make sure that they have a community of like-minded individuals where they can come to and really get the support that they need about those soft issues and about some of those things that they don't talk to the parents about. So they're not looking for another instructor, another teacher. They for the past 12 years almost, they've been dealing with teachers and instructors telling them what to do. And we do believe in instructing, but we believe more in guidance and ongoing support. But they all factor into each other.
Yep, absolutely. And one way that we continue to make sure that we are there for our students. And one way that we really put them in a position to where they are actually teaching without even them really knowing that they're teaching is we really have a humble spirit. We have a spirit of humility. And even though we are the mentors, we are the authority for the things that we are teaching, that is true. But at the same time, we understand we are still human. We are people at the end of the day, and we individually don't know everything that there is to know. And matter of fact, one reason why I personally love to mentor the younger generation is because, as times change, by us growing older, we don't stay hip to the latest trends and everything like that. So in a sense, we have to be humble. We have to have a sense of humility when it comes to teaching, because we can actually learn a lot from the younger generation. And I think that's one thing that a lot of older people tend to not understand, is that in order to get through to the younger people, you have to be able to listen. You have to be able to be a student of some things that they know more than you. And that's one thing that I really do pride myself on, and E does as well, as we really don't fake it. We are really honest. And if we don't know something, if we're asked a question by our mentee and we honestly don't know it, we'll say, hey, I don't know, but I will find out for you. And that is one way that we really dive in deep to really build that trust, is by being humble and by being honest. Because let's be honest, a lot of young people are very, very bright, and they can peep the BS. And I'm not talking about the belief system. I'm talking about the other BS. They know when you're trying to, shuck and jive them, if you know what I mean. So, it's, by us being honest, we're really not insulting their intelligence, because they are very bright young people. And even though they may be diamonds in a rough, so to speak, we understand that they do have some bright points about them, and they do know more about certain subjects than we do. So we always seek to understand and then to be understood, if that makes sense, because they're not going to listen to us unless we first take the time out to really truly understand who they are and listen to them.
Man, hey, that's perfect, bro. Like, that's when you open up lines of communication and you create good communication, is when it goes both ways. It's not just one-sided of us just telling them what to do. No, I love the ideas that they come with, because now when they have something that they're that passionate about, then let's package this up. Let's see how you can help people with this idea, like you helped us. So using Josh, for example, with what he's doing with the social media, Josh now has an offer for anyone out there that needs a social media manager. So while he learned that skill by working with the WTF, he now has a skill set and a mindset where he can take this and service people and still make money in the process. And it's a win-win. The people are happy because they don't have to deal with the craziness with social media and all that. And they have, so these young people, talking about this yesterday, I'm going to jump real quick, but I was talking about this yesterday with these young people. I'm getting old. I want to make sure I understand who's about to be taking care of me. I want to make sure we raise some good ones.
Yep.
That where it ain't a bunch of garbage out here pushing us in old folks' home and treating us bad. I want to be treated well as I age. So absolutely. Understanding these young people and building this relationship this is a lifetime thing, you all. There's no date on this. We don't have a hard stop. You can't rock with us no more after this time. No. If they're away for a year or two, they can always come back, because we're in this for life with these young people. We're not getting to know them because we're not getting to know them to forget them, is what I was going to state. We're actually getting to know them because we love these young men, and we know that they're going to win, and we know that we're in good hands. So we're getting to know them on purpose, you all. This is building relationships by opening up that communication line you mentioned, Dimitri. So yeah, that was great, bro.
Absolutely. And, hopefully you don't mind me just mentioning this really quick to the audience, but just going a little bit deeper into really supporting the mentees outside of the curriculum, outside of this community, is, Coach E, I think it was earlier this year or late last year, you actually attended one of our first group this year, one of our first group of mentees basketball game. So, you know, his dad wasn't able to make it, and he looked up to you enough, he respected you enough, he trusted you enough to ask you to come there and represent, you know, that masculinity that he needed in his life to be able to, you know, feel validated at his senior night game. And that's just a testament of what we do here at the WTF. Is not just, you know, we don't just treat them like numbers. We actually express something called attunement. And attunement is being aware of and being responsive to the emotional state and needs of the mentees. You know, and that goes a long way, y'all. That goes a long way. And I understand that, you know, parents do play a big role in that, but you know, sometimes, you know, it takes an outside force, it takes an outside third party to really just be able to, you know, really open that child up emotionally and mentally, to be able to break through, to be able to make those life-changing, you know, changes and make that progress. And yeah, that's what we're all about here at WTF.
Yeah, man. And that was an honor for me that he even asked me. I was like, we did the same thing with Ray Vaughn when he broke all the world records with powerlifting at the age of 17.
Exactly.
Like, this man set world records at the age of 17, and he was in our first group. Josh, when he won his first race, man, in the 200. I'm talking about smoked it. I was doing a live as he was doing his
I
race
remember that.
because I had other obligations. Hey, Antonia, I had other obligations, but I said, you know what? I'm going to be here regardless. And so that's what we do. We go above and beyond with these young men, because, again, we like them. Like, they're not even bad people. You know, like I got adults that I can't stand dealing with. I would rather deal with one of these teenagers because, you know, they're easier to get along with. And I love the newness. Like, I'm embracing it. Man, I ain't never wore so many lime green, bright pink, orange colors since I got to hanging with these teenagers. They, you know, changing up my whole wardrobe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, one thing that I want to kind of touch on too, as we kind of pivot somewhat, is there are some obstacles that, you know, people do face when mentoring. And this is one thing that we're very aware of by us being slightly, well, me being slightly older, and you know, E being a little bit slightly older than I am. We tend to understand that there's a disconnect between the millennials, the Gen X's, and the Gen Zers. And cynicism tends to kind of bleed into the speech when we, as older people, tend to talk to the younger generation. And we tend to kind of talk down to them and think that, oh, well, I know more than you, so you better listen to me because I've put the work in, I've graduated college, I've raised the family, I've done all this and that. So your points are invalid. You may not say that their points are invalid but by, you know, us unknowingly most of the times kind of discounting their opinions because they're younger, that tends to shut them down. So parents, if you are having trouble getting through to your teenager, kind of slow yourself down and just kind of check yourself. Just be honest with yourself. Are you being cynical? Are you, you know, causing challenges for yourself by, you know, placing yourself here on the pedestal in your mind and not allowing yourself to really learn from your team? Because like I said earlier, there are plenty of things that you can learn from your teenager. And best believe,
Yes,
as technology continues to advance, as artificial intelligence, as AI continues to grow and scale, I guarantee you're not going to be able to keep up with the understanding of how all this stuff is working. And pretty soon, hopefully your job is not in jeopardy, but there are going to be a lot of adult jobs out there who are in jeopardy, and you're going to need your team to be able to support you and to be able to navigate this new technological world that's changing so very, very quickly. So that being said, embrace the changes that's happening and empower your team to be able to lead you in certain areas. Allow yourself to be a student to your teenager in certain areas. Allow yourself to be humble. Allow yourself to have an open mind. And I guarantee you, you will see a big difference in your relationship with your teen if you have some type of disconnect right now. Just allow them to take the lead in certain areas. Say, hey, son, I understand that, AI is, the next big wave. What do you think about it? Ask them and really humble yourself and just really give them the authority to really teach you and impart their knowledge that they have, because they have a lot of knowledge, but sometimes they may seem a little bit apprehensive to share that with you because of the type of dynamic relationship that you may knowingly or unknowingly have presented to them, because you are the parent and they are the child and you want them to stay in the child's place. But times are changing and we have to be able to adapt quickly, and your child is the key to navigating this fast-paced digital world.
Hey, and you know what? It's that relationship with parent and child, like they want to have a better relationship with you. It's not that they don't want to. It's that up to this point, every time they came with something, or you just were instructional. Nope, do it this way. I know because I've been doing this for the last 30 years, 30 years long you've been living in it. You know what we say, you all. Come on, keep it 1,000. Like, we say those type of things because we have achieved some things. We have done some great things, and I'm proud of what you've done. But it's time to build that relationship, you all. Like, you've been living with that program for this long. Now it's time to remove that program and really open yourself up to learning who this young adult is in your house, like understanding who they are and what makes them tick. What do they think about world issues? What do they think? Do they know how to go out and get a birth certificate? Do they know how to get a social security card? What do they, or have you done everything for them up to this point? Most of us have done everything for them up to this point and just gave them the cards and IDs. And now we want to throw them out into the world. And we've been doing everything for them. So it's time to hit reset. It's time to pivot as a parent and say, you know what? This has gotten us this far. In order for us to go further and have a better relationship, I need to rethink how we're doing this thing and open up those communication channels. And they'll pour into you once they feel like they can trust telling you something. Because right now, I doubt that they even trust most of the parents out here, because every time they come with something, it's always hit, do. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I don't even trust even talking to you about what's going on with me, because all I'm going to do is get slammed with instructions. And we don't do that over here. We want to know what's going on, because, hey, some things have been brought to us that I was like, wow, I can't even imagine that, like, what? So, and made us do some research to figure out what was going on with this. But we were open to the research and we didn't put them down or make them feel humiliated. Like, we don't do that here at the WTF. We have fun, we crack jokes, but we do not get personal and we do not humiliate anyone. That's a form of bullying that we call having fun, but we do not do that here at the WTF. And the few times that we've went too far with our fun, we've stopped and definitely cleaned that up with the guys, because man, again, this is a life. When I get ready to pass and it's my time, I want a room full of them. Mm-hmm. Like, I want them around me like, man, my guy is about to roll up out of here. Send me off right. Don't throw me in no old folks home and forget I'm existing. I'm gonna break up out of that thing. But go ahead.
No, I mean, that's dope. That's dope, man. And yeah, parents, if we haven't said this before, leave us a comment, send us a DM. Hey, we're always open to communicating with y'all and, picking your brain and really having this dialogue of what you need improve with your child, or just with the relationship between your child and yourself. We are here for the entire family, not just the teenagers. This is a whole family thing. This is a whole family movement, because we all know that it takes a village, right, to raise a child. So we are part of that village that you need to help to support you, because you are busy. You have to work these long hours to pay the bills, to be able to provide the food on the table, to keep the lights on, to send your child to school, to get the education. But you also need to understand that, that you do need some assistance. And that's part of the, being humble part, not just with your child, but just asking for help from other people. I know you are very independent. You know, you've always got it done yourself. You've always put your, feet to the pavement and got it done. But, we're in an era now of collaboration over competition. And, we are not competing to be or to take your spot as the parent. We actually have your back. We want you and your child to be able to grow and thrive together. But we understand that we also do provide some tools and some different insights and perspectives that you may not have, that we can definitely contribute to improving the life of your young teen. And that it kind of takes me to this one of the last points is that we do offer patience. It's a 12-week 3-month course curriculum, but once that 12 weeks is over with, we always are available to walk your team through any other issues that they need to have addressed, whether it's have a counseling therapy session with about topics that they may not feel comfortable speaking to you about. We're patient through the whole process of them may not being able to understand what we're even teaching about mindset, about confidence, about how to build their digital product. We understand that every person, every teen is not created to understand the same concepts the same way. So we are here to offer that support and that patience that you may not have because you've been patient their entire life. And we understand that your patience may be running thin. So come on and send them over to us. We have all the patience in the world. We have many different mentors who have different perspectives and who can offer, different levels of support that, I may not be able to offer, but Big E may be able to offer. And our other two coaches may be able to offer something that me and E can't offer. So we have, many different angles that we can attack and to help to overcome to get through to your teenager for sure.
Yeah, because at the beginning, I struggled with these jokers. Like we battled. Last year, I used to battle with them, and we had some heated conversations. And you know what? We're all still friends to this day. We all still communicate to this day. Sometimes men will clash with other men. We get it. And guess what? At the end of the day, they're going to be treated as a man regardless of what words are exchanged. And of course, we're the more mature adults. So we understand that they may be a little more hot-headed right now because they're going through that testosterone stage and becoming a man, and they really want to, buck up as much as they can. So we've dealt with that too. But all you have to do is ask yourself, were you like that? And you already know we all were in one shape, form, or fashion. Somebody bucked when you became a teenager. When you got that little peach fuzz on your lip, or the women got them little plump things popping, y'all started bucking your parents. We all did. I'm grown. I'm shaving up right now. I got one that's 16 with a whole beard. I'm like, what is that dirt on your neck? No, you're 17 now. I'm like, what in the world? When did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
But they're growing up quickly, you all, and we're here to support. And I put in the chat, independence is the goal of the middle class. People that truly want their children to be successful, they invest in their children, and they know they need to invest. Rich people, successful people, they get their children counselors, therapists, and coaches on all different levels for sports. They hire private coaches to help them with their craft. And that's exactly what we are. We're here to aid and assist these young people and make sure they have an avenue where they can vent, they can say what they want to say, and they can get the guidance from men. Now, again, no knock on the women. The women, you all have been doing so much up to this point. Like, we get it. We cannot take that place. We can't replace dad, whether he's been there or he hasn't. We can't replace any of that. But what we can do is add to the situation and add some great advice, some great guidance, and some other young people that'll really be there to embrace them, because we can have fun with this, you all. And WTF is hitting so many levels. Like, we're building some things real big here at the WTF, you all. You're going to hear more about that real soon. But hey, the goal is to get these young people, these Zoomers, out here zooming instead of sitting around not doing nothing and worried about what the future might bring. We already know what it is. It's whatever you want it to be. And we know how to tap into them to really find out who they are and teach them whose they are. And once they know that, it's to the moon, Alice.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Yeah. As we come to a close, parents, hey, hit us up, text us, WTF to 314-970-3918. You want to get all of our social media contacts sent directly to your phone. Text WTF to 314-970-3918 and join the movement. And, feel free to, like I say, hit us up so we can book a call so we can, dive deeper into your current and specific situation with your child and what you really need for us to help you with, to help your child with, so both of you all can elevate and your entire family tree can, elevate to that next level. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today, E, man. It's been a great call, man. You got anything else?
Hey, man, like he said, you all text that number out there, text WTF. You'll get a link to follow all the social medias. You'll also get a link where you can schedule a free call. We'll talk to you about whatever you're dealing with your young person. They don't have to be on the call, or they can be on the call, and we might set up another call, but we're here to support the parents as well as the teens, because we know a family that builds together is going to be happy together, you all. And we're changing these generational curses and starting to create generational patterns of wealth. And wealth can hit so many different levels. So let's not even go there. But health is wealth. That may be one of the patterns that we change within the family, or assist in changing in that. So give your guys a shout out. Share this with your people, please. Text that number. We here to serve everybody, you all. Like, give us the worst of the worst. Give me the one that don't nobody want to deal with. That's the one I want. Where he at? Where the hard head, the rock head, as my wife always talking about a head, bro. I think she be talking about me now. But no, where the rock head at that's been giving you some trouble? Where's the one that's been talking about suicide? Where's the one that ain't been talking at all? Just give us a shot. You give us one conversation with this young person, and I guarantee 9 times out of 10, they're going to want another conversation, because they can either want it or run from it. You only have 2 options, but they'll never be the same after that first call. So hit that, text that number, you all, hit the link. Let's get it scheduled out there. Let's get busy and start taking massive action, because we teaching formulas over here at the WTF, and these young men are being successful. So that's my take, bro.
Yep. Thank y'all for another live WTF Wednesday. I always remember WTF not only means what's the formula, but also winning takes focus. We will see you all next Wednesday.
Peace, everybody.